Hello, everybody. It's Friday night, and that means it's Lucky Dice Live. Glad to have you. We have some stuff to talk about tonight, as we always do. Sometimes it's HeroClix. Sometimes it's just crap going on in my life. Sometimes it's making fun of Dennis. Sometimes it's, I don't know, just whatever we feel like talking about, but primarily HeroClix. We have the auction going on tonight, of course. It is Strange Tales again. Let's see. Is anybody out on the chat? Can you guys hear me just fine? I hope you can. Last week I know that we had some low volume in the beginning, but I think I fixed that. So if you guys are out there, give me a shout. Glad to answer any questions on HeroClix. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Rock Cup and H for H coming up. We're going to be talking about the Venom set, which I honestly have not had much time to look at. I've been very, very busy. There we go. Somebody is out there. Yay! And they can hear me. Yay! So Diablo says he can hear me just fine. I think it was just a microphone positioning ordeal last week that I didn't really pay attention to, but we did fix. Let me get some of this stuff off my screen so I can see everything the way I want to see it. All right. Why am I looking at an ad? That's funny. Somehow or another, a ad has popped up on BlueStacks app player, and and it's my ad, and I haven't. From eBay, I have no idea how that got there. Let me get back into the chat window. All right, there we go. Yay! All right. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Daredevil. Great. I'm glad it does. Like I said, I think it was just the positioning of the microphone, and that has been fixed. So, what do we want to talk about first? I think that we tend to have some extremes in HeroClix, meaning the way that the stuff is released, and you know it happens more in HeroClix than it does other things. And what I mean by that is that the card game. I mean, we don't really. HeroClix doesn't have any direct competition per se. Yeah, there's other tabletop games, but there's nothing exactly like HeroClix. HeroClix is a miniature game that is collected upon and released like a card game. So it's kind of unique in that area. And that was even before it had cards in it. It was still treated as such. It's a collectible miniature game that releases sets, and it's kind of like collecting Magic cards or One Piece or anything else. The difference is those card companies they have a better grip on release times. You know a year in advance. I mean, you know at the beginning of the year every Magic set that's coming out and when it's coming out, and it stays that course. HeroClix tends to be a little bit more iffy. I don't really know exactly why that is. I don't know what the card companies do different. I suspect that they make them, that perhaps they have them, that they're a little bit further ahead. Meaning, and what I mean by that is they're releasing this set, and maybe the following set has already been made, and it can. I don't know if it just gets here quicker or what, but they seem to be able to stick to scheduling. Ever since I've been in HeroClix, that's not been the case. There's been bizarre things that's happened. I remember there was a train wreck one year when we lost everything, and there was a boat that lost some of the stuff on it, and I know that those are things that are bizarre things that happen, but like right now everything is working the way it's supposed to. We don't have COVID, we don't have anything. And over the last year and a half, there's been delays in set releases. Generally, it's not WizKids' fault per se. Is they make an order, and then the company is supposed to get it here in time. But I just feel like maybe there's not enough leeway on having the stuff in their hands. It seems like they're always waiting for everything to reach to a point to be able to give a release date and say that this is what's going to happen. I don't really like that. I would tell WizKids the same thing. I really wish that they could get a little bit more ahead of themselves to where they could say we're releasing this on March 1st, and we knew that that was going to be released on March 1st because they weren't waiting until the 2 weeks ahead of time for the stuff to land from China into the United States and be transported from there. It seems to me like that should have happened weeks, months ago. Somehow or another, it seems like the plan is they order, ship, and delivery just to get here in time or a little bit ahead of that. And it's a little frustrating because what that does is we end up having releases pushed all together. Like it's like we open up a set and then like we're starting to play with it, and then all of a sudden another set's coming out, and then another set's coming out, or we have these long gaps of time with set releases. And I just wish I'd like to see more consistency. I wish there was a number. I wish they would say we're releasing X number of sets a year. We're going to release it on this date, this date, this date, this date, this date, and we could count on that. One, it would keep the sense of a new set, and we would have some kind of feeling of when the next thing's going to come out. And like Strange Tales has been out for a little while, and I think people are a little bit tired of it, and they're ready to move on. Everybody's anxious for Venom. We had Masters of Time that was a very good set, and we were doing that set, it seemed like forever. And then it was like a machine gun going off, and sets were just popping off. And I'd just like to have there be a set time period between set releases and consistency where we kind of get in kind of a groove of knowing when it is. And I mean, the other thing is if they did that, they could actually schedule out the set releases and plan them by event. Like, okay, let's plan this one to come out. We're going to have Worlds at this time. We're going to have everything up at this time. It just would be better. So Daredevil is Aaron, and I've got Chad here. I can see you, Chad. Doesn't mean I want to see you, Chad, but I see you. Anyway, I would like to see more consistency and a more regular schedule. I wish that WizKids could get to that, but we've been doing this, 30 years, and they ain't done it yet, so it's probably not going to happen. I don't know if it's just the nature of their business or if it's just that it's the way they do business themselves. But I mean, we've also seen 3 companies run HeroClix, from NECA to Tops and to WizKids themselves when they weren't owned by anybody, and it's always been the same. So anyway, that's one of my complaints to WizKids, and I wish they could fix it. And I don't think that they don't do it on purpose. I just think they have a very tight schedule of how they do things, and I just think if I owned a company and I had the money, that's the thing, and I think they have the money, but I don't know what their money they have. But if I had the money, I would want to get ahead of myself. So I would want to be at least a set ahead of myself where I had Strange Tale. I would want to have Batman right now. I'd want to have Batman right now sitting somewhere ready to go so that I knew that it was going to be on time. And then when I'm releasing Batman, I'd want to have the next set in my hands. Instead, we're always waiting on that set. And, maybe it's risk management. Maybe it's they do it that way for a reason. I don't know. I just know that I wish in that aspect they were more like card companies. So the Rock Cup, what have I done on the Rock Cup this week? We sold out of hotel rooms. We had to get more hotel rooms. That's a good thing. So I raised that. We had people that were trying to book and couldn't get certain nights. So I had to call the hotel and get them to add more hotel rooms on. It's actually the second time we've done it. We've had to add more rooms. So if you are booking and you can't get it, you think if you call or try to get the booking and it's not there, just message me. The hotel will make more rooms. We got plenty of time to do that. The second thing is I began planning the dinner out that we're going to have. It's going to be on a Saturday night. I've got a menu from them. I've got a couple of choices. I can go to a plate dinner, or I can. Nicole, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to get depressed this weekend. You're not allowed to say that. Instead send me another message and say, looks like I'm going to be there. You're not allowed to say that. I even moved it closer just for you. It's 2 hours closer. So anyway, I'm planning the menu out. What I want is a buffet a buffet type dinner. That's right. You tell her, Aaron. You tell her that that's not acceptable. So the buffet is kind of what I want to do. It's not like it's where you go down the line and you pick food and you go and sit down and eat. That's what we're leaning towards. That's got more options on it. It's also a little bit more money, but I think that the satisfaction there is going to be there. So also people will have to buy their tickets. I have to tell the hotel 1 week before the event how many people are coming. So that's the dinner is going to be part of the VIF package. The dinner is going to be the dinner, of course. It's going to be some con exclusives. It's going to be a map. It's going to be the new bystander. Who knows what else I might come up with, but it's going to be similar to what we had last year, only that we're replacing the virtual play with a dinner. It's probably going to be a little bit more money because the dinner is a little bit more money, but that's what we'll be doing on Saturday night, is everybody's going to want to get one. I will probably have a little bit of tolerance if I'm looking that I've got 100 people. Now, the last time that I ran something like this, it was in Atlanta, and we had the dinner there, and we exceeded 100 tickets for all the dinners that we ran. I feel like we had about 125 to 130 people attend the dinner. We gave away prizing at the dinner. The food was good. And we also had a murder mystery at that time. No murder mysteries planned for this one. We'll have the dinner. We'll be up. Scott and I will start talking about the auction. The auction will be ending, and we'll have some of the prizes out there. We'll also do the on-site auction there. Everything that happened there at dinner, and you'll get your, I don't know what I'm going to give out, the prizing. I don't know if I'm going to give that out could give it out that night. I might just give everybody that attends the dinner gets their prizing at that time. But let's say, hypothetically, I've sold 100 tickets. There's going to be people I know that come in at the last minute, so I might tell the hotel I need 120 tickets, and I'll sell the last 20 on site there, and we'll go from there. But I don't know yet. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but we will. I anticipate 100 to 150 people at the dinner and at that event. No gaming will be going on at that time. We will shut down the Battle Royals. We'll shut down all the events that's going on. And after the dinner, we will pick back up again with Battle Royals, and I think I have an event planned for that night. I don't have that in front of me, but I believe I do have a small event. So that's what's going on. Hey, Dennis. Dennis, it is very, very depressing here. Dennis is already a little depressed. He's having some family issues back home, not with his wife and stuff. It's just his sisters and whatever. I'm not going to go into detail. He's probably mad at me for even bringing it up, but he's a little down because he's having some family problems. But he'll get through it. So on top of that, Nicole says she's not going to be able to come to Nashville, Dennis, and I think that's extremely depressing. I think that that has just like ruined our lives. It's like the volcano going off near your house. It's just terrible. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know that we can survive that kind of news. I mean, that Nicole is not going to be in Nashville. It's just like awful. Um, but that's what she told me, Dennis, and you need to just tell her that that's not fair, that she is depriving herself of our presence and us of hers, and it's just not right. Um, so, anyway, that's what's going on with that. And the other thing that's happened today is I got off the phone with Scott Porter, the president of WizKids, the representatives of WizKids, the brand manager of WizKids, the social media person of WizKids, the product distributor, anyway, all of WizKids. There was like 7 of them, and there was 2 of us, and um, we went over pricing and support that is coming from WizKids. Um, exactly, Dennis. That's what I'm saying. That's and she needs to say she's coming. You see, Dennis has got his little avatar, and he's got a Green Lantern. It actually looks like, I think that would be Alan. It looks like the Alan costume, where it's got the stuff coming up on the side. Um, he looks like Alan, the Green Lantern. So, what's Alan's last name? Alan Scott. Yeah, Alan Scott. Is that right? Am I right? But anyways, he looks like Alan Scott, the Kingdom Come Green Lantern. And see, it's sounding better. What the word should be. It should be in a positive manner, Nicole, and it should say, "I'm trying my best to be there," not that I may not be able to come or anything like that. That's that Green Lantern is drawn by Antonio Clark. I like it because the green covers up most of Dennis's face. It looks really good on him. No, it looks good. It's pretty cool. Antonio Clark is a talented person. So anyway, um, we went over pricing and everything today, and I have it's not done. There's still a follow-up call, but I have all the pricing, and I have to now take the spreadsheet, which this is something I do every year, and I have to distribute it to all of the tournaments from all the rock tournaments and all that, uh, and balance everything out, and that's where we're at. I know these. I know this. I don't want to announce anything yet, but I know what we will be playing with Venom I know that for a fact, and there are some very neat things there's some things that we've not done before, and what I mean by that, there's some things that they're giving us this year um, that is different and I can't really explain that yet. I've got to again. I want to go over the spreadsheet, but it's going to be a great tournament, a great time. We have great events planned. Scott's planning on coming in for the whole week this time, which I think is neat. Initially, I think he was going to bring his family, but I think his wife has got to stay behind because her mother's got some issues, and she's got to stay there with her. So we'll just have Scott again. I was hoping that she would get to come and bring the whole family. Sorry about that. Um, Speaking of Mountain Dew, that was my first Mountain Dew or drink or whatever of the day. Not very happy with DoorDash right now. I didn't eat this morning, didn't drink anything this morning. I got up in running. I had meeting after meeting after meeting and call after call after call of stuff going on, and so finally, when it settled down, I didn't have anything. I didn't want to run anywhere, So I ordered through DoorDash. I ordered some pizza, and this is the third time this has happened. I wanted some caffeine, and one of the reasons I ordered the pizza is because they have Mountain Dew there, and it's just around the corner. I ordered it, and they didn't bring the Mountain Dew, and it's the third time that that's happened. I told the guy, and he says, "You didn't know nothing about it." And I said, "Well, will you go get it?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll be right back." And he never came back. So I didn't get my Mountain Dew at all. And when I called, you talk to the local store, they tell me that that happens almost every time with DoorDash, that they come in and grab the stuff off the counter and they don't grab the thing out of the cooler. So I called and got a complete refund from the pizza place, and I asked them, I told them what had happened. I said, "Man, there's something going wrong with y'all's process." I said, "You guys keep the drinks in the cooler. DoorDash is supposed to read the thing, and they're supposed to grab the drink." I said, I ran a cafe, and generally we put everything on the counter. So anywhere else you go, anywhere else these guys go in the city to pick up food, everything's laid out for them in the counter, including the drinks, just like we used to do. So they're used to that, and so they just go and grab the counter, and even though they're supposed to check it, they don't, and they run with it. It's happened to me 3 times, and the guy inside the store says it happens to a bunch of other people. Maybe y'all need to get together and figure out a better process. Maybe you should maybe your people, instead of leaving them in the cooler, leave them in the cooler, should be putting them on the counter with the food so it doesn't get left. There's got to fix things. Where did you see the April 8th currently? It's going to be way before May. Where did you read April 8th for the release? Did you see that announced today? Aaron? Because I haven't been online all day looking at anything, but I know something you don't know, and I want to know, where did you hear April 8th? Okay, that's what I want to know. I was on the phone with WizKids, and that subject did come up, and they said April 8th with the pre-release, the last weekend in March, and they said that they literally they were looking at it, and they said, but they had to confirm one thing, but they planned on announcing that today, and I did not know if they announced that today or not. So that is accurate. I was telling Dennis that earlier on the way over here, that those were the dates. So we're just 4 weeks away from Venom. Just so you know, I'm actually going to go in now that I know the solicits were made. Yeah, I knew before that happened, but they did not. They said they were trying to release that information today, but it wasn't. Never was able to go back and firm it up. Literally, I've not been hardly on Facebook at all today. I've not done anything. I've been back to back on the phone. After I got through with my meetings, I had a buddy that's in New Mexico, and I don't know how I get involved in counseling, but it seems like I'm counseling all the time. So he's talking to me, and he needed somebody to talk to, and I talked to him for 2 hours, and his wife up and left him because they've been having some problems, and they're not. I think they'll probably end up back together, but then I had to listen to him and for like 2 hours, and it just seems like, I don't know, it seems like I end up being counselors for lots of people, which I don't mind. I counseled Dennis, and you can see that it does no good. He's still a wild and crazy guy and doesn't listen to me. But anyway, lots of things are going on around here too. Looks like I think that we're making plans at Lucky Dice Games of starting to expand our business in a little different way than everybody else, and the fact that we're probably going to be selling online in a different way, and it may even affect what we're doing right now. But we're about to go. I used to have a channel on Whatnot, And actually, I still have a channel on Whatnot. I just haven't used it in a long time. We have a 100% rating there, and we used to sell lots and lots and lots of stuff. And that stopped. It was from the cafe, and it stopped. I actually caught the guy that was doing it for me. Had somebody running 40 hours a week, and I caught him doing something he wasn't supposed to do. He was, hey Anthony, he was. Dennis says he gets easily distracted. Don't judge him. I don't have to judge him. Um, but anyway, we are probably going to be moving on to Whatnot, and we're probably going to be running a lot on Whatnot, probably every day. And we're doing a shift. There's some other stuff coming that I don't want to really discuss about it, but we're probably about to bring in some different games and probably rearrange the way we're doing things. I may be moving the studio into another place so we can do that, and I may be putting game tables in here, looking at a lot of different little things that we want to do, but we're growing. We got more games coming, and Whatnot is very fruitful, and that's something that we are looking at doing in the very near future, and I may end up taking HeroClix, my thing tonight, over to Whatnot. The problem that I have with Whatnot, I love the way Whatnot does it, but it doesn't do it the way we're doing it right here. What happens, like what we're doing is we're putting bricks up and they're selling all day. We're selling the boosters all day long, and then the auction ends, and then we open them up, and then I can do the show beforehand. There, I can still do the show, but generally what happens on Whatnot is you go on there and you're selling one item at a time. So we would do a brick. I guess I know the way to do it. The way to do it would be to sell the boosters and run them in auctions, but I wouldn't open the brick until all the boosters in the brick were sold. So it would go, I would say booster number one, everybody would bid on it. It would end and go to the side, then we do booster number two, blah, 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 go to the side. Then when we ran through that whole brick, then I would open the brick up. And I would mix it up the same way that we do it here. That would be the way to do it over there. There's lots of things I like about Whatnot. For one, shipping is built in, and I can print a shipping label literally the same time that we're selling. Shipping is so much easier, and they do combined shipping. They got everything figured into the process, and it's actually really easy to do. I myself have went on Whatnot and sold quite a bit, but if we did this, we would probably be doing One Piece, some Pokemon. We would be doing Riftbound, Lorcana, maybe HeroClix, maybe maybe Star Wars. That's one that's a new game that I think that we might be shifting over our way for different reasons. Also, we've done dice in the past. We've done gyms. All of those things might be something that we do on Whatnot. And hey, Miguel. So that's something that's coming, and probably would just keep HeroClix on Friday night. And Houston would be shifting into that role. And I think she could do a really good job. I'll teach her how to do it. I've already showed her one time, but it's been a minute. We'll have to go back and review it. But we're looking at doing something like that, which is a transition, and we believe that it's advantageous for us to shift into that. And we just have to figure out how to do it staff-wise, time-wise, product-wise, and all that. And we got an inkling of it, and something that we're working on right now that we will know in the very near future will have some effect on that. So anyway, that's what's going on here. Like I said, I told you we had a lot to talk about. HeroClix wise, one thing maybe this is why they're doing that. Somebody today messaged me from down in Florida and said he was not attending the Champion Clicks events because he was upset at the way they were doing battle royals. Because I only hearing from one side, but he said there's lots of people that apparently feel the same way he does. I don't know, but they're doing $40 entry fee for battle royals, and I think I know why they're doing that. They would be using Venom also. When is Champion Clicks? Are they using Venom or are they using Strange Tales? I don't know. Does anybody know what's the date? I know Anthony knows. Give me the date for Champion Clicks, please. Somebody. I don't really keep up with their stuff because it's not something I intended on going to. Nothing against them. In fact, David and I have a really good relationship, and we're working on doing some crossover between Rock and Champion Clicks. But it's just he's asked me to go every year, and I just haven't been able to. Nobody knows the dates. Oh, there we go, March 17th. All right, so I don't think they'll have Venom. I think they'd be playing with Strange Tales. But Strange Tales and Venom have the same problem. And I think this might be why they're doing the $40. And what that is that Strange Tales has many slots. It's got the FX spaces in it. And it's also got, I know there's at least one booster that's only got 3 figures in it. So it kind of makes it wonky a little bit playing battle royals. So if everybody had 2, there's more opportunity to get figures, I suppose, and you might could even use those FX spaces if you're playing with that many figures a little bit better. But he said he's not going because they're charging $40. And Venom has actually got the same kind of setup as what Strange Tales does, is that they have equipment and stuff in there that's taking up. They got, well, good, Miguel. They've got the same kind of setup in the boosters where there's going to be, you won't have as many figures to play with. But I'm reluctant about trying to do $40 battle royals. I don't think that's something I'm going to do. I think we'll just deal with it. With Venom, we've been playing Strange Tales battle royals here, and it hasn't been that much of a problem, really. I mean, we would rather it be all figures, but it's not, let's just say it's not the best battle royal or sealed set, and I think, and maybe Venom might be that way too because of the constructs and stuff, but Venom's going to be very powerful, I think. But anyway, I don't see us charging $40 for a battle royal. I didn't even know until today that that's what was happening down there, and I don't even know for sure. I had somebody message me and said they were hoping that I was going to Champion Clicks. He wanted to buy some magic from me because my magic prices are fair, but he says he wasn't going to Champion Clicks this year either because of the $40 battle royals. So there's that. I don't know that. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's a 40. I mean, people like to play battle royals all weekend, and if you're playing $40 a battle royal, your money is going pretty fast. You may not be playing as many battle royals. Yeah, but you're talking about sealed, or you're talking about battle royals. We're talking about battle royals. You said to pull a good booster, but when I was doing sealed with Doctor Strange, it wasn't guaranteed you pull great at all. That's true. That's always true. But are you talking about a sealed? We're talking about battle royals. Battle royals, you're getting one thing out of every one of them and mixing them up. It's just unfortunate that there's not 5 figures in every booster, and there's one booster that's only got 3 figures in it. But I still think I would rather charge $20 a battle royal than I would try to charge y'all to make y'all buy 2 boosters and pay $40 for a battle royal. I don't think you'd be playing very many battle royals. I think that also we'll be doing the battle royal championship again, which Dennis, you and I, when we were making the thing out, forgot to mention. That's probably something that we need to add in, that we will be doing a battle royal championship again with a trophy and throwing a bunch of prizing. Yeah, but we don't mulligan battle royals. Never have. We're not gonna mulligan battle royals. Never even really thought about doing it, but we're not gonna do that. But sealed tournaments are one thing. Our sealed tournaments will have mulligans, as they always do. We're gonna be playing with Venom, and when we run the sealed tournament, you can mulligan and get another and get two more. We'll do that. But what we're talking about, Miguel, is battle royals. Only battle royals. Battle royals are $20 a piece, and they're charging $40, and you get two boosters down in Champion Clicks. Because I wouldn't want to do that. That would cost more money for us. If I'm doing a brick to use as a replacement for people that pull equipment in battle royals, then I would be giving that away, and we would be losing money because those things have to be paid for. That's what we call a mulligan. A mulligan would be somebody could buy another booster, but if they bought another booster, it's also very likely that they could pull the same thing. And I'm not going to open up a brick and swap out figures for people it's just part of it. I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal. I think that it's not a good battle royal set, but I think that we can live with it, I guess is the best way to put it. I think it'll be okay. I think that it's just going to be a little irritating, and me personally, now you've heard me say this before, I don't really like the fact that the way they're doing the boosters. I don't like the fact that they're filling a hole with equipment and with the FX bases. I personally feel like there should be 5 figures in every booster, and they should throw in a one piece of equipment or FX base randomly in boosters. I think there should be 5 figures. That's me, period. But they're not. It's their game. That's the way they're doing it. I'm only telling you how I feel. You may feel the same or different. But would you guys, again, there's a small amount of people here. Would you rather me run $40 battle royals, or would you rather me run $20 battle royals? Is it intriguing to you to go down to play in Orlando and pay $40? I mean, the flip side of that is if I did charge double, I could also put in double prizing. Everybody's guaranteed a prize in our battle royals. What if we ran both? What the hell? What if I ran $20 battle royals and I ran $40 battle royals and I put in double prizing for the $40 battle royals? What say you? That sounds like a good idea. Rather than saying everything is $20 and everything is $40, I give everybody a choice, and they get double prizing if they play in the double, which they should because they're paying for 2 battle royals. What say you to that, guys? That sounds like a good idea to me. Then people have a choice. And then we can see which one does better. What do you think of that? Nah, they don't need to sell the bases, man. It's just a little piece of plastic. They just need to throw them in there. Sets always previous to the last few sets have been that way. We've never had equipment slots and FX slots. Yeah, so you like that idea? It makes sense, doesn't it? We can do battle royals 2 different ways. We can do $40 and $20 battle royals and see how it goes. Yeah. could also have to think about this one, but we're keeping points. Do you do double points for a double battle royal? If you pay, I mean, it's just a battle royal. You're still placing first, second, third, or fourth. But if you're paying more, do you get a bonus double points? Have to think about that one. Because what we do is we award points in battle royals, and whoever's got the most points at the end of the tournament wins the battle royal championship and gets a bunch of stuff. What WizKids did at Worlds, kind of like this idea, is they took the top four and did a playoff. That was kind of cool. So we could do something similar to that. Don't know that I really like the double point thing. I mean, it's kind of like you're buying points to a degree, and I don't think that's right. I feel like it should just, whether you play in the double or the single, the points should be the same, but the prizing should be more because you're paying twice as much. Therefore, you should be getting twice as much. So we would throw out 8 things for the double battle royals, and we would throw out just the normal stuff in the single, and then people can play by their budget. And if a lot of people are playing the doubles, then we've learned something, and we also know that we'll run out of stuff quicker. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. I think we solved the problem. See, on this show, we can bring up subjects, and within a few minutes, we can solve it. All we need is just to tackle bigger problems now. We can solve everything. Our next big problem that we need to solve is making sure that Nicole is here, that she makes it to Nashville. I agree, Tyler. I think that that's right. I don't think that I feel like if somebody's doing that to get double points, they're buying them, and I don't like that. That doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel like you should. You're playing the same competition, and you shouldn't get double points for playing at a double. I mean, just because you're buying more. Yeah, you're really, if somebody's got lots of money and they're dead set on winning, and they need prizing, they just come in there and they play doubles all weekend. They're guaranteed to be in the finals. The 13th. Well, guess what, Miguel? This time you can call, and the hotel will come and get you. They got. If you guys don't know that, there's a shuttle service back and forth from the airport in Nashville, and I think the airport may be 10 minutes away or less. It's not. I mean, and we're not so close that we hear airplanes flying directly over our head and a lot of noise, but the airport's fairly close. You guys are gonna like this hotel. I mean, you really are. I wished I had people on here that went back with me all the way to Atlanta, but I don't think I do. Anthony, I don't know if he ever came to. I mean, Aaron was there, but there's gonna be a lot of similarity between Atlanta. You know, for those that don't know it, we set the table with the Rock when we started off, and we started off at a con, and I felt like if we took it out of the con and made it independent, that we would get more of a turnout, because a lot of people don't want to go to the con. They don't want to pay the ticket price to get in the con. They have no interest in the con whatsoever. All they want to do is play games. So you got to pay. So if you want to go to a con, you got to pay this big badge price, and then you go in the room and you play games. That's never really bothered me. It depends on the con, but I used to go to Dragon Con every year. I supported it, and by supporting it, we started with the first Rock Cups there. They weren't even called Rock Cups then, but our first championships. And then we moved into Atlanta, and we had an all-inclusive hotel that had, just like this one, we had an event center, we had a bar, we had a restaurant, we had all the things we want, nice rooms, they had the workout room, everything. You were in Dragon Con. You did not go to, I'm talking to Um, oh man, my mind's going. Talking to Chad right now. Chad is um, Chad went to Dragon Con when I was going there, but when we moved from Dragon Con into, that's when it was Rocktober. We used to do it in October. When we moved to October for our championship, still would be there if Whiz Kids wouldn't have moved into September. The only reason we moved from October is because Whiz Kids was moving Worlds into September, but we would still be in October, and I think a lot of people miss Rocktober. But we moved into the hotel, and the first year that we moved, we we went times 4 or 5 attendance. We had 4 to 5 more times attendance than we did at the convention. It's not too far away. What are we? Just a little over. Let's see, where are we at? We're February, March, April. Yeah, just a little over 2 months. Not very far at all. We'll also, I think everybody would be very happy. People that have attended the events, Lucky Dice Cafe, loved it, but it tended to get a little crowded sometimes, and I was very frustrated with the AC. Not just, it wasn't me. We rented, we leased, so we were dependent on our landlord, and the air conditioners were old, and they tended to go out at the beginning of every year, just before the Rock Cup. And the one air conditioner that went out the last year that we were there, they always would Band-Aid them. They finally decided they couldn't Band-Aid that one anymore, so they said they had to replace it. And so we got it replaced. They finally came in September and replaced it. When, guess what? September's, it's getting cool again. It didn't really matter. But it took them that long to get all the approval done to get the air conditioner. So we had that side of the store didn't have an air conditioner all summer long. Haven't had time, Dennis, to even digest it. I don't know if that really, I don't know. I probably not. How much did Disney affect Marvel when they bought it? Not really, except we got more stuff. I don't know that it's really going to affect anything at all. I mean, it's always a licensing thing, I guess. That's where you worry about it. Hey, Michael, how you doing? You're always worried about licensing. That's the biggest thing that's always an issue with Whiz Kids. They are very protective of their licensing. Licensing changes year to year. It's very tricky. Is that a lot of people don't understand licensing. It's not like I get a license from Dennis to sell his brand, and I can just sell that brand away. I have to strike a deal with Dennis to say that I'm going to sell $100,000 worth of product and base it all these numbers, and then we negotiate a price of how much that's going to cost me, and then I got to pay him up front. And then if I sell more than that, I got to pay him more money. That's how licensing works, and people don't understand that. Now, I have a license to use the WizKids logo and stuff like that, a little bit different of a thing. But yeah, if to use a license and you put them on a brand, that's the way they work. So they're very careful. They have to be very careful when they run events, who's running the events, how they're distributing the product on events, because like I had an idea of how to tie in stores to a platform to where they could sell more product, and WizKids could get by naming it a WizKids store, that WizKids could make money off of this from the sales if they would back the platform up. I talked to the president of WizKids, and he was very intrigued with the idea, but he came back to me that wasn't something that they would do because their licensing that if they're licensed, the people that they're licensed with, it looked at that, they would say that they would want a piece of that also. They're very, they're, they are very, and then the other thing that you don't understand about licensing is they don't, not only do they want you to pay for what you're going to do, but they're actually wanting you to push your product different places in the world with their brand on it. And if you're not pushing it right and going into all different countries in the world, that becomes a problem too. They're like, okay, we want you to expand more into Mexico and Latin America and more into Europe. We're wanting you to sell the product, and you need to be, for you to get our brand and for you to get our license, you need to up these numbers in these places. Licensing is very tricky. It's a very, very, very tricky thing. And the way they negotiate these deals, and sometimes they don't do things. I mean, you guys don't realize this. Sometimes they don't do things because the fear of losing that license, or the fact that what they do they may get hit with, hey, you need to give us more money, or hey, this is not what we agreed on. Con Exclusives is an example of that. They have to, when they make product, they have to say specifically what that product is being used for and where. And if they do something else with it, like let's say for example, Con Exclusives that are prizes. So they get a license for prizing and they're giving the product away. Well, that costs X number of dollars. But if you decide that you want to sell that product, not me sell that product, but if they wanted to sell that product publicly on a prize, and they could, then the licensor could demand more money, because you are now making more money off an item that you paid a fee for, and now you're making that more money, and we want our cut. It almost sounds, I mean, licensing almost sounds like the mafia to me. It's like, we want our cut. Anything you do on our street, we want our cut. It sounds so similar to that. It's like, yeah, you went out and you worked this and you're making more money. Now where's our cut? People don't realize that. It's very tricky. People think that you get a license to sell a product and use a brand name, and you pay for it and it's yours, and you can do it. You can sell it however you want, but it comes with conditions and caveats and fees, and then it's scrutinized that you have to turn all your books over at the end of the year for somebody to look at, and they have to see if you have exceeded your license usage, and are you doing something that you weren't supposed to do, and then if they see something, if something gets brought to their attention, negative on their product that you're doing wrong, you could lose your license. It's very fickle, and it's very like I said, everything I'm describing as I'm describing it sounds like every mafia movie I've ever watched, where people are watching what's going on their corners and in their street, and they want their cut, because it sounds just like that. I mean, I swear, does it not? It sounds very much like they're running a mafia organization, and we're selling their drug, and they want their cut whatever part of the city that is. And if we go on a block that is theirs and that we haven't got a license for it, they jump our ass and say, "Hey, where's our cut? Man, you're not supposed to be on that corner." It's funny. I never thought of it that way until I started explaining it and talking about how it works. It very much sounds like the mafia. So man, and we've always said we have plastic cracks. So I guess everything that we're talking about is we're in the mafia, and we didn't even know it. And you guys are just addicted to the crack. WizKids is the pimp that's selling the stuff on the corner, and and then the licensors are the guys. There's the mafia behind all of it. It's just the mafia, man. Oh my God, Dennis, how did I never think of that before? I mean, that's just amazing. It just never occurred to me until I started talking. Oh my goodness, guys. Anyway, outside of now being in the mafia, or being a mafia promoter, I'm very excited about what's coming up. I think Venom's going to be a good set. I've unfortunately have not been able to look at and preview anything. I have not looked at a single thing. I've heard people talk about Null. I've heard people talk about Chases and that it's a powerful set. I've heard equipment's great. I've heard there's things that can attack the sideline. I've heard all these things, but I actually have not watched one Scott Porter video. I have not looked at anything on HC units to see. And we'll start doing that over the next few weeks because we'll be starting to preview the set. But I really haven't had time to do that. I'm bouncing back and forth between 2 or 3. Another thing that we're doing is we're talking, Dennis and I are working on trying to open up a store. And he's being very slow at the rate we're going. I predict, I don't know, maybe 2030, we'll have our first store in Mexico. The mafia is not. You're not a fan of the mafia, Dennis. They're having to wait too long to get their cut. Yeah. The sale of a beloved studio to get you to think that. Yeah, that's true. Well, it's the reason that's a beloved set to Dennis is because it's where all the DC stuff is at. Oh, it looks like the auction ended. I guess that means we have to actually open boosters now. Let me get some of this stuff off my screen. It looks like, I started everything low tonight, which it looks like everybody appreciated. I think we sold everything. I don't think we'll look in a second. I think Nicole always can find out. Nicole, did we sell everything? I can look and see if, let me see. Oh, not there. Oops, shop. It's really weird. The reason that this takes me a while to figure that out is because the format on this, on Auxxit here, is different than the one at the house and also different than the one on the phone. So I have to always remember where I'm at work. One day I'll do a God Emperor Doom. I really don't go back and auction like that. If I go to Whatnot, I may do something like that. Okay, so everything's sold. That's good. Thanks, Nicole. All right, so while I'm getting pricing and get the groups, y'all pick what you want for the bounty figure. All right, I've got an Iron Man marquee that I'm throwing in. I've got a Thor. This was from that's a free comic book day Thor. I've got a, this is a WKO prize. It's a Heat Wave. Y'all pick out a super rare. I've got Famine. Actually, I'm not throwing that in because I already got a Famine in there. Notice when I was putting it down, I got a Famine. I got a Bishop, WKO prize. I've got a LE Ice Maiden from DC 75. I got Terexia. This is from when we had the Thanos event. And I've got a Nimrod the Greater LE, and then we'll do all the rest of these on the next one. Baron Strucker is our first one from Miguel. I need a second one. I don't even remember Baron Strucker. Yeah, he's in there. I remember now, right? Yeah. So I need a second nomination for that or something brand new. Nicole, spit it out. You've already ruined our day with some nonsense. Now you have to pick the bounty figure. You better be here, Nicole. Mephisto or Kushala or Magic. Nick Fury, LMD. got two nominated. We got Magic. We got Mephisto. We just need a second on any of those. Need a second, and if Magic, Nick Fury, Mephisto, or a Baron Strucker. We got 4 nominations. Dennis says, what does Dennis say? Magic. Is it Magic? Magic it is. Dennis said Magic. It ain't no magic. So Nate and the oh, Dennis. She's saying that whatever you say cannot be right. I see very good logic in that way of thinking. I mean, that really, really, really makes sense to me. I think that's what I tell you every time we talk, is that can't be, Dennis, you're wrong. Oh. Guys, don't you wish that me and Dennis were together all the time and we did this show every week? Don't you think we would get a big audience eventually, just because I think that we make a really good show together. What is today? 27th. She said it can't be if you said it. I heard her. I heard what she said. See? That changed her mind. Let's look at that. All right, so we're going number 1. Good luck, everybody. That Frankencastle over there. Okay, Auxxit was listening to me too. I missed that one. All right, here we go, guys. We have a one-shot Bolts of Baltrak. We have Baron Mordo common, Cleo common, Astro Scarlet Witch common, Calculus uncommon, Dormammu rare. That was booster number 1. Booster number 2. People on my stream as a video call from a different location. What I want to do, what I would be willing to do, is I would like, and I know it can be done, I just got to figure it out, and I might even have to use Dennis's system. What I would like to do is Dennis to do the breaks with me every week, and us do a show with him in Mexico and me here, with being able to see both of us on the screen. I know it can be done, I just don't know how to do it yet. And this isn't my line of work or my expertise, so I would love to be, that's what I would like to have happen. I could do the breaking of the bricks, but we would be together at least talking and visually, and that's what I would like to do. I would like to do a show every week that did that. Paranormal Investigator common, -1 common, Dum Dum Dugan uncommon. Our first super rare, it also is a super rare prime. Well, then you have to show me how to do that. So I would Dormammu, um, Super Rare Prime is our first big thing this week. I mean, this tonight. And we also got an FX space. The FX space, again, that's the one that's got the big Nightcrawler looking head, or Nightmare. That might be Nightmare. It looks like Nightmare. And so that's the first good pull. We haven't pulled very many of these Dormammu Primes. We'll figure it out. It has to work with being able to go everywhere, but we'll talk about it. Dennis uses another system down there. I don't remember, what's the name of the system that you use? I'm using OBS. Dennis, what's your system that you use down there? It's something totally different. So this is another good pull. Somebody's going to be happy here. We've got a Baron Mordo common, a Ghost Rider rare. We've got an Astro Strange Scarlet Witch, and we have a chase. The chase is Wolverine, Lord of the Vampires. So that's the first good one today. We also got an FX space in there. Streamlabs. Yeah, so I mean, I need a day of trying to figure all that out. I need to get Dennis, and we just need to see what we can do. This is the one that does look like Nightmare. He's a smaller version, and he's in space with stars and stuff behind him. He looks like he's coming out of a cloud or something. So congratulations on whoever had number 3. That was a good booster. That was 3. Now we're going to number 4. Number 4. Aha. This is somebody suggested this, and it didn't work out. So we got a Dum Dum Dugan uncommon, a Shield Spy common, Wong uncommon, Nick Fury LMD common, and we got the Nick Fury super rare. Goody. Well, all right then. That booster is enough to get you here almost, Nicole. He has to give that to you. You got $100 figure there. That's $100. That's almost enough money to get you here. Hi, Prissy. They just get back home. Hi. All right, we're on booster number 5 now. I've got Morbius rare, Astro Dormammu common, Cat Familiar common, Astro Doctor Strange uncommon, Astro Agatha uncommon. Is it uncommon? Nope, common. A lot of Astros there. We got 3 Astro figures. Number 6. Well, there you go. Sick and all that, but you're able to pick out the right booster. Okay, we got Hulk. This is booster 6. We got Hulk rare. We got Doctor Strange common, Ebony uncommon, Astro Cleo uncommon, Vampire common. Number 7. Where's Javi at? Number 7. We got a Crimson Bands of Sidorak common. We have a Astro Clea uncommon, Agatha rare, Wand Agent common, Enchantress common, Darkhold Redeemer common. So, has everybody been watching these Scott Porter videos? Pretty good stuff. I haven't been able to watch one of them. I think he called me the day after the first one premiered. All right, I got an Astro Dormammu common. This is booster 8. A Cat Familiar common. Frank Drake uncommon. Agatha, Astro Agatha common. Nightmare rare. Oh, okay. So Steph came home and brought Priscilla back, but left Hattie over there. Hey, how you doing? I saw you bidding over there. Did you win anything? I think you did. I can see. I know you won. Looks like you won number 21. Number 9 is where we're at right now. You gonna be able? Are you gonna get? Caught the Porter unboxing. Wasn't impressed with the brick, but Dial H had a good brick. I really hardly ever watch Dial H, but I'm not really watching anything right now, so I don't know that I can really say I watch anybody. I'm just. All right, so I got a Bloodstorm rare, a Darkhold Redeemer common, a -1 common, a Paranormal Investigator common. All right, that's number 9. Number 10. Well, Steph and Priscilla's there, right? Because you were by yourself. I don't think Priscilla came home on her own. If she did, she's grown a lot more than I accounted for since I was there. All right, we got a one-shot Flames of the Faltine. We got Scarlet Witch rare. We got Astro Baron Mordo uncommon. We got a Cat Familiar common, Vampire common, Doctor Strange common. I think we got one super rare left. I think we pulled the Prime super rare, and we pulled the Nick Fury super rare, and we pulled something else. I think we have one left, so we still have a shot at pulling Magic. Yeah. Did they pull the null that everybody's talking about? So number 11, we've got Images of Icon, one shot, Hannibal King uncommon, Shield Spy common, Clea common, Nick Fury LMD common, and Blade rare prime. So this brick had 2 primes in it because the super rare prime counted as a super rare in distribution, and it just randomly comes up. So you can have that happen sometimes when you got 2 primes. So we got 2 primes in this set, but I still think we have one. I think we still have one super rare left. It should be. Yeah, he pulled the null. It should be right here. I think that's going to be the big pull when we, at the cup, everybody's going to want to be pulling the null. And I was right, there was one super rare left. But is it the right super rare? We've got a Doctor Strange rare, a Enchantress common, we've got a Nick Fury uncommon, and we got Dracula super rare. Oh, we also got an FX base. This one is the guy with this, no, it's the tiger. It's the tiger. So I didn't mention it, but we did start off with a bounty. So the bounty's got a little size to it. or the bounty prizes rather. We didn't pull the bounty last week, so we did start with stuff. So we got a pretty good bounty. We're about to add all the stuff over there to it, which I'm gonna do right now. So I've got a Hulk mini booster. I've got a Gorilla Grodd LE. I've got a Captain Avalon from X of Swords. And I've got a Troya from DC 75 LE. Then we got a Baron Strucker. That's from Nick Fury. I got a Iron Man. This was from the Iron Man set, but it was the LE. I've got a Talon. The Talon's also an LE from Guardians of the Galaxy. I've got this is from Xavier. I got a Prime, a Moria McTaggart. I've got a Colonel Jan Rog. This is from also Guardians of the Galaxy. That's an LE also. Then I've got the Hood. It's from the Black Panther and Illuminati set. Super rare. Got another super rare from the same set. It's Lockjaw. I don't know what Lockjaw's actually got in his mouth. That's like a piece of steel or wood, or I don't know. And then I've got Avengers Infinity War. I've got Starshine super rare. All right, so that's a pretty big pile. We don't have to pick another bounty figure because it stays magic, so we'll try to pull magic out of this one. We throw in another legacy card. So I know some of you may have noticed that I don't mix them up like I used to and scatter them around. It's because I'm just mixing them randomly all over the table as I bring them out. That way it saves a little bit of time. The idea is that number one is not the number one in the corner, and people aren't trying to bid on brick placement. They're just randomly getting stuff as I pull them out. All right, number. I also know that I could speed things up. I could number these bricks. Number the boosters beforehand, and I just have them ready to go. I don't like doing that. I don't want to do that. And the reason I don't want to do that is I want you to see that it's a fresh sealed case when I pull it out, and fresh wrapped bricks. And there's not that I think that people would suspect, but I don't want them to have to suspect at all. So I just do it that way where everybody can see that it's sealed product that nobody's ever touched, and it's done in front of everybody's eyes. Now, not that I've ever done it, but I do know of scandalous people that open up bricks and will open the boosters up, and when they pull something, they will put everything back and put a brick back together and sell it that way, or they'll put their stuff on, put those as singles on the shelf. And say for example, I open up a brick. What I could do is my first one is a chase. I could put that chase up for sale, and I could put all of these back if I chose to, and put them on the wall, and then I'm pulling the chase, then nobody has a chance to pull a chase. It's on the wall. I don't do that. If I open up a brick, it all goes on the wall, and so on and so forth. And but I do know of people that I've heard that do that. All right, we're starting off number 13. We're still looking for Magic as the bounty figure. We've got a big pile here, so I would prefer that we actually pull Magic so I can start a new one in next week. All right, we got a booster number 13. We have a Wand Agent common, Darkhold Redeemer common, Frank Drake uncommon, Ebony uncommon, and we have our first super rare. It's Kushla. So that was one of the other ones that was mentioned that I believe Nicole had a feeling that it might be, but Dennis went with Magic and ruined everything. All right, so we're going to number 14. I don't know, man. I hope Magic is in here. If it's not, we will most definitely blame Dennis for this. He deserves all the blame if this goes south. All right, I got a one-shot, booster number 14. Icy Tendrils of Icathlon, Dr. Druid, uncommon, Astro Dormammu, common, Shield Spy, common, Astro Agatha, common, and Dormammu, rare. I think we pulled that exact booster just a minute ago. So that's 14. Number 15. 2 super rares to go, 1 chase, maybe a prime. Maybe the bounty figure. And oddly enough, it seems like we're pulling every other figure that was nominated for the bounty figure, except for the figure that was nominated for the bounty figure. I've got a Vampire common, the Astro Doctor Strange uncommon, Nick Fury uncommon, Cat Familiar common, and we got a Mephisto super rare. Number 16. Number 16, Paranormal Investigator common, a Darkhold Redeemer common, -1 common, Wong uncommon, and a Hulk rare. Number 17. Wands of Atum, 1 shot. Bloodstorm rare, Nick Fury LMD common, Umar the Unrelenting, uncommon, Clea common, Baron Mordo common. That is booster number 17. Number 18. You know, I've heard everybody, or we've been talking about if the set's good or not. I want to ask this question. I've always felt like Venom and Carnage sets have had extra appeal as far as the appearance. I've always thought that those sets were done really well. For that, is the same holding true for this Venom set? Is it a very well done set? Is it a nice set for sculpt wise? All right, so we're at number. That's a question, by the way. Number 18, Shield of the Seraphim, 1 shot. I've got Scarlet Witch rare, Umar the Unrelenting uncommon, Enchantress common, Doctor Strange common, and Vampire common. So what you guys have seen so far, do you think it's or do you think the sculpts are very nice? Because I mean, I go back to Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage. And that said, I thought all the sculpts were just really great. I go back to all the different sets that's been themed with Venom and Carnage, and they just seem like the stuff is better. And then when anytime that a Venom or Carnage was built into a set, I mean not themed with it, but they had them. I've always thought that those looked extra good too. So I'm hoping that the Venom set is the same way. Astro Agatha common, Shield Spy common, Flames of the Faltine one shot, Astro Dormammu common, Agatha common, Astro Baron Mordo uncommon. Nobody's got an opinion on that one, on whether they think the sculpts are really nice? Or are they just like the last few sets are just kind of ordinary? That's my question. Okay, we're going to booster number 20. Same old, same old. Here we go. Astro Scarlet Witch, common. Baron Mordo, common. Dum Dum Dugan, uncommon. -1, uncommon. And again, we got the guy that was nominated but did not win the nomination, Baron von Strucker. So I think we pulled every single character that was nominated, but not the one, Magic, that won the nomination. Number 21. And we all know who seconded that figure and got the official nomination, don't we? We got Ghost Rider rare, Frank Drake uncommon, Vampire common, Doctor Strange common, and Cat Familiar common. But he's putting his daughter to bed right now, so he's not getting it. So I'm abusing him, and it's not as fun because he ain't hearing it. All right, I got number 22. Then we got one super rare left, though. We still got one shot. One shot. We can pull for Dennis, even though it's looking dire. All right, we got, what number was this? 20. The previous one, I knew the 21. 21, I know Gray's got. We got Wand Agent, common, Nightmare rare, Calculus uncommon, Doctor Strange common, and Enchantress common. Number 23. Last two. I still think we have one super rare left. That kept real good count this time around. And we also do have the chase left, so it's good for somebody that's got 23 or 24, I think. And let's see what we got here. Did we pull a chase? We haven't pulled a chase. Huh. Paranormal Investigator common, -1 common, Doctor Strange rare, and then we got the 2 FX spaces that come in this. This is that 3-pack. That means I think 24's got the chase. I think. We haven't pulled the chase on this one, have we? All right, so we got the big Nightmare head looking one. And we got the girl. That's the one. That's supposed to be the best one. It's the hardest one to get. The redheaded girl. Number 24. Supposed to be a chase, right? And so it is. So we're not giving out any bounty prizes tonight. And like I said, we're going to blame it on Dennis. It's his fault. All right, we got a Clea, common, Nick Fury LMD common, Hannibal King uncommon, and we got a Jericho Drum, Sorcerer Supreme, Chase, congrats, number 24. And we got the Nightmare, that's the body that's like in the cloud, or looks like a night crawler. I don't know who it is, but it's somebody. So there we go, guys. That's all. We've opened it up. Hope you've enjoyed that little stream tonight. Hope everybody won something that they wanted. Hope y'all got a little bit of information, some information that you didn't know. You didn't know you were supporting the mafia. I've kind of ruined everybody's life because they think they're addicted to a drug and they're supporting the mafia. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I enjoyed it. We'll be back next week, and it's a countdown now to Venom. We're about 3 weeks away, maybe 4 weeks away, until we have our first Venom in our hand, and we're doing an auction for that. Good night, everybody.